Hello guys. Welcome to my kitchen table. How exciting. Hey, it's the first one of these we're doing. It's going to feel a little bit weird, that's for sure, especially if you're in class with me and I'm like literally in the room while you're watching this. It's going to be super weird. But I think it's going to be the best overall for if anybody has to do credit recovery, or if somebody's gone for a whole bunch of days, or if you ever need to go back to a lesson and relearn it, it'll always be here. So I think this would be one of the easiest ways to do it. So you are going to take notes with me. So make sure that you have a notebook out. And if you don't, here's the magical thing. You can go get it right now and pause the lesson. And I will still be here when you get back. I super promise. So, go get a notebook and go get a pen or pencil and do these examples with me. That's the best way to learn math, is to do it yourself. And please, 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 please don't be like, I'm not going to do it. You're really going to want to do this. You're going to want something to refer back to. And I'm probably going to totally ask to see it at different times and look at your notes. So make sure that you're doing it with me. Shouldn't take that long. Okay. So today we're doing some basic order of operations stuff. This section is called Numerical Expressions. It's 1.1. Today is the 14th. And the first thing we're going to do is talk about how to kind of decode just English words into the kind of math we're doing. All right, so you got adding, subtracting, multiplying, which I'm using as a dot now, not an X, and dividing. Multiplying, instead of an X, which could seemingly represent a variable, which is something we don't want because we'll be solving for X later. So from now on, we're always going to use a dot for multiply. But other words that mean these same things is sum for add, difference for subtract, product for multiply, and quotient for divide. There's lots more actually for adding. There's plus, which of course means that there's minus here for subtract. There's more than over here. And we're making this list so that if you see these in a homework problem or on a test, you're actually allowed to use notes on a test for me if you make a note sheet. So this would be a good thing to have on there if these kind of problems trick you up a little bit. I've also got increased on the add side and decreased on the subtract side. Remember, if I'm going too fast for you, you can always stop the video, catch up, and then unpause again. Another word for multiply is times. Another word for divide, out of, actually. Like, for example, if I had 3 out of 4, that is a dividing sign right there, that slash. So really, this is kind of something that a lot of people miss. Fractions are dividing. 3/4 is the same thing as 0.75, and if you in your calculator take 3 divided by 4, you get 0.75. So, same thing. This is 3 divided by 4. They're the same. Okay, now we're going to do 5 quick examples together, and then we'll be done. Example 1 is just the words 1 plus 8 divided by 3. So when you do homework tomorrow, you don't actually have any homework tonight, yay. But when you do homework tomorrow, there'll be a question like this where it's written out in words, and then you have to write it out like this. So 1 plus 8 divided by 3. Not bad. Okay, but then they get a little harder. Like the sum of 5 and 9 divided by 2. Okay, now this is how these are different, because this one is also going to be, remember, sum. If you look up here, that means adding. So the sum of 5 and 9, that means I'm going to take 5 and 9 and add them together, and then I'm going to divide by 2. But since it says the sum divided by 2, the word sum is there, that implies that there's actually parentheses around this one. So it means that it wants you to add 5 and 9 first, and then divide by 2, which is actually against the order of operations, which is why we need the parentheses in there. All right, 2 down. This isn't so bad. 3 to go. All right, order of operations. So let's start with P for parentheses. And E for exponents. So this is the order of operations. Parentheses comes first, and then exponents comes second. M stands for multiply, and D for divide. These ones, so like parentheses comes first, and then exponents, but then multiply and divide you do at the same time. You go left to right in an equation, and if like the first thing on the left is dividing, then you do that. The first thing on the left is multiplying, you do that. So you go left to right, doing multiplying and dividing at the same time. Same thing with adding and subtracting. You're going to add and subtract, left to right, same time. So instead of looking like it actually has like 6 steps, it's more like 4 steps. Okay, so let's actually try it. So example 3 is going to be 20 minus 7 plus 8 squared minus 7 times 11. All right, so I'm going to look on my list. Parentheses, there isn't one, so I'm good there. Exponents, oh, there's one right there. All right, so I'm just going to copy down the problem until I get there. X squared. Now, x squared is not 8 times 2. It is 2 eighths, so it's 8 times 8. So 8 times 8 right here is 64. And if this was 8 cubed, it would be 8 times 8 times 8, 3 eighths. Minus 7 times 11. Okay? So I've done exponents. Now I'm going to multiply and divide going left to right. It looks like there's only one multiplying, but it's at the end, so I've got to do that next. 7 times 11 is 77. And then I'm going to add and subtract left to right. So the first thing I'm doing is 20 minus 7, which is 13. And then I'm going to combine the next two, which is 13 plus 64, which is 77. So then I have 77 minus 77, which is 0. So actually the answer to this problem is 0. Kind of a weird one. All right, 2 more. We're halfway there. Oh, living on a prayer. Okay. Copy down that one for me. On the top of it's like a fraction bar here, or dividing, right? Big fraction bar on the top is 4 plus 5 in parentheses and then a squared. And on the bottom is 3 times in parentheses 7 minus 4. Okay. So we're going to do this bit by bit. Actually, if there's like a fraction bar in a problem, you can kind of almost act like there's brackets on the top and the bottom, which means we're just going to take care of this stuff first. So we're going to work our way from the inside to the outside on both of the brackets, and then we'll divide. So, right now, how about you pause the video and try this one yourself. So the first thing you're going to do is take care of the inside of these parentheses, then square it, then you got that number on the top. This parentheses multiply by 3, then you got that number on the bottom, and then put them together. So pause the video right now and try this yourself. Don't just watch me do it. Actually pause it. Pause the video, and then I'll do it with you when you get back. All right, I'm assuming you actually did it. So the top part would be 4 plus 5, which is 9 squared. And on the bottom, we've got 7 minus 4, which is 3, so that's 3 times 3 on the bottom. All right, now I gotta do the top and the bottom. So 9 squared is 81. That's 9 times 9. And 3 times 3 is 9. All right, now I can finally divide. So 81 divided by 9 is 9. Should have gotten 9 for that one. All right, last